Hello YouTube and welcome to my channel. So many of us bought the Android phone so that we can have an access to a lot many Google Play apps, right? But the problem is the internal memory. Yes, I know the phones have very less internal memory and it's an issue that every one of us face. So what's an option? You can see that I just have 2.2 GB of internal space available, and if I want to install huge apps onto my phone, then the one option is that I can delete the old apps and install new ones, or you can move it to SD card. This is a native option that phone provides, but I think the apps to SD card is not a reliable method because it just moves the APK file to the external SD, and all the data and things related with that application stays into the internal memory, and it's of no use, I feel. So it is an app, you can see to SD. It's available on Google Play. It helps you to link all the internal apps to the external SD card. Basically what this does is it copies all your files to the external SD card and creates a link of those files into the internal memory. But to use this app you need root permissions, so you can root your phone to get the root permissions. And one more thing that you need is secondary partition on the SD card. So how do we create this secondary partition on SD card? Let's see, so that we can get an access to Link2SD application. Okay, so now let's see how do we partition the memory card. So to do the partition, I have a application called as Mini Tool Partition over here. You can see this application. It's a free for home users. You can download it from Google, and you just need to have this application so that you can partition your memory. For demonstration, I'm going to show you a 1 GB card that I'll be partitioning, and I'll create two partitions, one in which you can store your data and another which will be our internal second internal memory. So to partition the memory card, you just need to select this disk, then you need to go to delete and delete this whole partition. Now you can see that this space is unallocated space. So to allocate it, just click on create. Then there will be a window that will be displayed over here. You need to select the size that you want. See, for example, I'm just gonna divide this whole memory card into half partitions. So I write over here 500 megabytes, and that's it. That will be my main SD card where I can store my data. So I'll type over there SD card, and we'll keep this as primary, and this will be kept as FAT32, or you can even keep NTFS, but FAT32 is preferred. And then you just need to create OK, and you can see that 500 MB of space will be created as a primary type memory, and the file system will be FAT32. Now you can allocate the remaining space, and you can see that you'll be given a warning that the created partition cannot be used by Windows because it can just detect the first partition on the removable disk, and you just need to click yes and say yes, I wish to continue. Now the whole 500 MB is to be selected, and you can give the name whatever you want. I'll give it internal 2, and you need to keep this disk as primary also. And then depending on what works for you, you have to choose ext2, ext3 or ext4. Now new phones support ext4, but ext2 is preferred. ext2 is supported by each and every device, so prefer ext2. But if your phone supports ext4, you can select ext4 also. So after selecting ext4, you just need to allocate the space, and the moment you allocate the spaces over here, you need to click on apply, and then click on yes. And this is the way you partition your memory card. Okay, so after partitioning the whole memory card, you just need to remove it and insert it in your phone. Just a tip: partition your SD card using a SD card reader and not by keeping it in your cell phone, and this is really important. So now let's see how do we use the app. Okay guys, so when you have done the partition of your SD card, now let's go to the app Link2SD, and the moment you insert your card into the phone and you open Link2SD, the first message that you're gonna see would be this message. It'll ask you to select the file system of your SD card's second partition. Now depending on how you have formatted your SD card, you need to select either ext2, ext3 or ext4. Since we had formatted it as ext4, you need to click on ext4 and then it will ask you to reboot your phone. I have done that process and I have made my secondary partition ready to be used. Now you can see the storage info over here. The moment you click on the storage info, you'll be able to see your SD card second partition. You can see it's 34% free over here. This will be the second partition of your SD card. And if you see that message again of selection of the type of format that you have made, like ext2, ext3, if that message is shown again and again, that means that you have not created the partition properly, or it just means that you have not selected the partition properly. Select the partition properly, be it ext2, ext3 or ext4, and it will work fine. So what now? Now you just need to select any app. Say for example, let me check. Say for example, I need to link my Norton mobile security to the SD card. I just need to open the app. I need to click link to SD card over here, and then you can see it'll ask you to link application file, the Dalvik cache, and library files. If this option is present, you can tick even this option. The internal data option is locked for free version users, but you can select this three types, like application file, Dalvik cache, and the library files. Since this app has no library files, I won't be selecting those. Then you need to click on OK, and it will start creating a link. It will move the files from the internal to the external card, and it will create a link of those. That's it. You can see I have freed up space. I have copied 75% of the total app into the external SD card, and in this way you can move your apps to the external SD card. You can link those and you'll save a lot of space. You can even see that we have an option of rebooting into different modes. So this app is quite handy. It gives you a lot of functions as such, and there are more functions that you can explore through this app. So stay tuned and comment if you want anything. Subscribe to my blog. Thank you.